Hello, it's Lee here. Welcome to day 19 of dephemerember. So dephemerember, of course, is your daily ephemera inspiration in December, hosted by Barbara from 49 Dragonflies and Luise from Junk Journal Art. Fabric and page tab are the prompts for today, and my randomly chosen animal is penguin. Whenever I think of a penguin, I think black and white. And I've got some black and white fabric here. I've got a black and white feather. I've got a penguin who's also a black and white image. I'm going to put my tab on this page, and I've chosen a different piece of material. So I'm going to do this one because I like the pattern on it. So what I'm going to do is, with the two sides, I've got a piece that big. I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to stitch along the bottom and stitch up the side, probably about there. So what I'll get is this will end up going around like that. It's going to come below the edge of the page a little bit, so it'll be hanging down there. It'll be stitched there, and I'll just probably glue it on, maybe hand stitch it with some thread. So I've got this white lace here. I'm going to attach some of that to it, but I'm also going to mount my penguin onto a piece of cardstock and have my penguin sitting on the edge of the page. I'll cut it right out and it'll be on top of the lace, I should say. So I'm going to go and do the sewing first. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm not going to cut around the flipper and the feet. I'm going to just leave it because I want it to be a little bit stronger. So I'm just leaving that bit there in. I've stitched a little bit of that white lace onto the bottom edge of the pocket. There's my little penguin. So he's going to poke out from the edge of the page. Because you can see this side, I need to do something on the back here. I forgot to think about what would be visible on the back here, so I want to cover up this messy sewing because I've got a different coloured thread in the bobbin to on top, so because I'm too lazy to change it. So I would like to cover this with some of this lace and then some of this same thread I put underneath all the other stuff. And these bits of feather that I pulled off, if I can get them to stick in there as well, that would be nice. Doesn't matter if they don't, but if they do, it's great. So I'm just using this little flower stamp to cover the back of the bird. I don't need all of that feather. I'm going to chop the bottom bit off. I would like to get some yellow or something. You know how you got the emperor penguins have got some yellow on them? I have antique linen here. Oh, I know what I do. Mustard seed. That's got to be the one to go on the feather. And I only need a little bit. Okay, that's about it. I'm not going to put any water on that. I really want to put some of this on there. It's halo blue gold. Maybe on the back. Yeah, that's what's going to be poking off the page. Not sure why that feather's got that gap there. I don't think I cut that off accidentally. Maybe I did. Alright, so back to this. So feather goes on there, and then the little penguin goes on there. The feathers poke out. I'm going to pull them off. I don't like them. I think I will put a little bit of that lace underneath him. Like that. And I think it needs some thread. Get some black thread. It's actually crochet yarn. It's nice and thick. Gonna make a nice tangle like that and like that. I'm going to sew it. I forgot to think about what would be visible on the back here, so I want to cover up this messy sewing because I've got a different coloured thread in the bobbin to on top, so because I'm too lazy to change it. So I would like to cover this with some of this lace and then some of this same thread I put underneath all the other stuff. And these bits of feather that I pulled off, if I can get them to stick in there as well, that would be nice. Doesn't matter if they don't, but if they do, it's great. Maybe a staple in there would be okay. That's what I've got at the moment. I've got my little penguin sitting on the edge there, some lace at the bottom, and on the other side is just a tangle and some of those bits of feather that I pulled off. I'm thinking about making this like a corner thing. So I don't want to turn it that way, but if I turned it in, then I could stitch along there so it looks like that. And I'm wondering, does the page need to have some white gesso over it or something to tone it down a bit? This will stiffen the page up a little bit as well. You'll still be able to see the colour through it because gesso dries a little bit transparent. I know what to do about this. I'm just going to cut it. I think that'll be the easiest way to go. Cut it at an angle. I have to attach the pocket to the page as well. I need a little bit more gesso down here. And I might put some splatters on that before I attach the pocket. I really want to put some of that green on. I love it. Where can I do it? I use this stencil I made yesterday. So it needs to be attached across the bottom. And I think I'll just use glue. I'm going to run a bead along here. I need to get this on without messing the glue up. A bit like putting the quilt inside the quilt cover. Oh, I've got the glue in the wrong place at the end there. I need to get that page up just a little bit higher. Oh, my page is ripped. Never mind. Gonna have to put something on there to strengthen that. I need to strengthen that up. I need to put something over it. A patch of something. Okay, let's go to the other side. And I'm just going to poke the glue in down there. Just squeeze a little bead along. Hopefully some came out. Yep, enough. Just put a little bit here. when the book's closed, the little penguins sticking out the side there. I reckon the splatters would have looked good on that. Got this gold shimmer spray. Drop some of that on there. Maybe a little bit on the penguin itself. It's just got to dry before I can close the book up. But there's my page tab, my penguin, and my fabric. So over the other side we've got another fabric pocket, and I just have to mend that with something, probably a bit of washi tape, maybe just a bit of this one here, which is gold and a sort of tealy colour. And if I just loop it, go over, and then put a couple of staples in it. That's really dry. Like that. And just use my tiny attacher to put some staples in that to make sure it's not going to come off. 1 and 2. That'll help keep the pocket in there as well. Okay, and leave it at that. And so you can put a journal card inside it. And in this side too. Another couple of staples, I think. Okay, so that is day 19 finished. So fabric, page tab, and penguin. So I've made a fabric pocket with a penguin on my page tab with some feather and lace. And on the other side I have some lace and some little bits of the feather there, as well as the thread that I'll put under the penguin. Okay, see you in the next video. Don't forget to check out the playlist. So hashtag dephemerember. A link to Louisa and Barbara's channels are in my video description box. I'll see you in the next video. Give me a thumbs up if you like what you've seen. So cheers from Australia. Hooroo.